In this video, I'm going to introduce you to this new MLOps tool called as Wallaroo.ai. Wallaroo is the unified production machine learning platform for easily deploying, observing, and optimizing machine learning in production at scale. You can use it at any cloud or on the on-prem or at the edge. The problem what it is trying to solve is multi-pronged. The reason why Wallaroo is really shining out there because it has been founded and being run by a tight-knit group of engineers who have been solving the problems around machine learning and huge amount of data via computational algorithm efficiently and scale. Now, they have been trying to solve this problem. In a typical machine learning operations, what happens is that data scientists build a machine learning model to solve a business problems, and machine learning engineers would launch them using a patchwork of open source software and containerization approaches. But the problem is that this process is not only very hard, but also it is not standard. In order to make a machine learning model production ready, it is quite a common practice to re-engineer that model. But the problem is that when you re-engineer a model, your previous deployment techniques don't work. So you have to also re-engineer them, which not only takes a lot of time, but also causes you a lot of resources. We all know that big data, analytics, and artificial intelligence are really the technologies of future now, especially the generative AI. And generative AI is nothing without data. And when we talk about data, what it means is that the data which is in hosted by the organization in various formats in various data sources. Let me show you an example where which will make it more easier to see how this Valero is helping and what problem exactly it is trying to solve. Look at this example from Valero.ai's website, and I will drop the link in video's description too. Now what is happening is that, for example, in different organization, people are using different tools. For example, some are using Databricks, where data engineers are loading and preparing the data, and then data scientists are developing the model, whereas the machine learning engineers are deploying it. If they are using Databricks, they can deploy it on all the clouds, but they cannot deploy it on the on-prem. And if they want to deploy it on the edge, then they would need to use either AWS IoT or Azure IoT. Similarly, if companies are using AWS SageMaker, which I believe is one of the most commonly used service out there as a machine learning platform, then same process follows where data engineers are doing the data prep and loading, data scientists are developing the model, and then ML engineers are deploying it. The constraint here is that we are locked and stuck with AWS tools. This model can only be deployed on AWS. You cannot deploy it on the on-prem, and you can only use AWS IoT for the edge. And similarly, for Google's service Vertex AI, you are confined to GCP, and with datarobot, you have to do some bespoking and customization, and then the list goes on. Now, whenever any organization is looking to do this MLOps or ML operations, they normally go with these sort of tools. But the problem here is that these platforms force the data teams or the ML teams to standardize on proprietary tools, processes, and formats. These tools will then lead to complexity as different business units within the same company might use different data platforms. Or, for example, if a company is acquiring other companies, then they would be inheriting a lot of other tools. So it becomes really hard to manage different tools because already all of this data analytics, big data, and machine learning is hard. Now just add the complexity of using different tools, then it is just a recipe for total disaster. This is where Valero is designed to help you out. If you look at this one, no matter in which tool you are loading and preparing your data and developing your model, When it comes to model deployment or MLOps from end-to-end life cycle, you can use Wallaroo to deploy it at any cloud, even on the on-prem and on the edge. Wallaroo is designed to click into your ecosystem and seamlessly connect with everything around it. And they provide a standardized process that ML engineering teams can use to deploy, run, and observe models across platforms, clouds, and environments. And they have another cool feature of connector framework, which neatly plugs into any platform for any incoming and outgoing data points and takes care of integration to get you up and running in no time. For example, you can connect with data source like AWS S3, and you can also connect with open source tools like Apache Kafka. And then there are a lot of custom integration it supports, which you can read on their website, and there's a full list of it. So in a nutshell, how MLOps, the whole end-to-end lifecycle works is the first step is to load the data and prepare it, which means that you set up data pipelines and ETLs to data massage, data cleans, and then you connect various data sources in your own ecosystem. Maybe you are connecting relational databases, NoSQL, or text files, PDFs, and a lot of things. Once you have dat- data is present, data is there, then you start developing your model in step two, where, for example, you are using Jupyter notebooks to play around with the model. Then you start training workload orchestration with the data you just loaded, and then you try to instrument that model development so that you would know what is happening. And the last step is where the real challenge is, where you need to deploy it in the production, because you cannot really deploy the model from your Jupyter notebook. You have to tailor it in order to do the inference on any public endpoint or even private endpoint within your organization. You might also have to do some canary or A/B testing on that model, and there is really no model observability to detect any drift and anomalies that informs any issues with the model. And this is the last step, MLOps, where this Wallaroo.ai can help you out a lot. So go have a check out on this website, Wallaroo.ai. Really cool, and they have a lot of other information which you might find interesting. They have a lot of um, guides, case studies, and then they have some other features which I just described you. They also pride themselves in having a lightning fast speed at their cloud. So at the end, just a disclaimer: I don't have any affiliation with them, so I'm just doing it. I just stumbled upon it, and I think I don't haven't seen it before, and it tool like that in terms of MLOps, so it looks really cool. If I start using it, I might also request a demo from them and start using it, and then I'll create a more hands-on video to show you how actually it works. I hope that you liked it. If you have any thoughts, please share them in the comments. And if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.